Hello guys, uh, here at UPSC Wizardry we'll be talking about current affairs today, how I do my current affairs study, how I revise it and how I make notes out of it. Current affairs is something that carries big weightage in UPSC prelims and mains both. And the UPSC has become very dynamic. It has been asking very dynamic questions that are very relevant to today's time. And this is where current affairs become very important for us. So today we'll be talking about our five-step approach that I've talked in earlier video also, how to study current affairs, how to revise it, and how to make notes from it. We will ideally be taking 3 to 4 days, 1.5 to 2 hours each day to finish off 1 month current affairs, followed by 50 MCQ tests on that monthly magazine by us, UPSC Wizardry. We'll be providing you 50 question MCQ on the monthly magazine we finish. So 5 days, one magazine will be finishing off. If we carry on with that speed, we'll be finishing off monthly magazines by end of February. Now about notes making, I will advise you to avoid notes making from current affairs or prelims. It is better to revise current affairs 2 to 3 times than make notes for prelims. It is like duplication of work, so we should avoid it. Our five-step approach will help you in retaining current affairs information very nicely. What we do is we will finish off one section of a magazine. Say today we'll be doing June 2023. We will finish off polity. We will read the articles, underline the important articles, and after we have finished that section, we will revise that section again. And third thing we will do is after we have finished the whole magazine, we'll revise the whole magazine again. And fourth is after this, we will be taking the test, 50 question MCQ test. We will be revising through the MCQs and their solutions. And fourth is the we will analyze our test, wrong we did. So this is the five-step approach. This will help you revise and retain information from current affairs magazine. Now with respect to notes for mains, make your notes or update your notes from current affairs from mains. Keep one notebook for each GS, or topic wise also you can take. And those of you who are studying digitally, catalog or make folders for each topic. Say agriculture GS3, or say governance GS2, like that, and update your notes. Two things we need to do is we will one thing is we will be making mains notes in on our notebook or folders. And then and second thing is, as we read the current affairs, we will take some tasks that we will do after we have finished off what each day's current affairs magazine reading. I'll tell you what these tasks are. These tasks will be basically searching online or studying that topic from your static books. Say there is an article on working of Election Commission of India. So we read Election Commission of India. Mostly static things like what are the associated articles will be there in the magazine itself, but we'll go back to Lakshmi and study. Uh, what about everything about Election Commission of India, who appoints them, what are the service conditions, etc., all these things. So that with the magazine we are revising the static part also, and questions whatever is in the news, that static thing from that will be coming in the you know uh, prelims and mains. For example, furlough and parole was asked. It was in news because several people were given parole after the COVID-19 thing. So whatever is there in the current affairs, static part also we need to study. Started with the current affairs magazine and how I study it. We'll start with polity and governance today. Okay. Yes, new Parliament House. Okay, as you can see, it is not related to any topic in mains. So anything that will be coming from here will be basically from anything that will be coming from here will be basically from perspective of prelims. So let's see what information that we have recently inaugurated. And more about news. Current name of the project. It's part of Central Vista Development and Redevelopment. How was when was Rashtrapati Bhavan inaugurated? 1931. Okay. About present Parliament building, done by Edward Lutyens and Herbert Baker. That is why it's called Lutyens Delhi. Okay. This question has come. Chaucerty Yogini Temple of Morena in 2022 or 21. The Chaucer Yogini Temple inspires the you know Rashtrapati Bhavan of this Parliament House of India. Uh, see why now? Why need of a new parliament? Though not important from mains perspective, we can read narrow sitting space. Okay, seats number of seats will be increased after the delimitation in 2026. Distress infrastructure, it's an old building. Fire concerns. Okay, obsolete communication infrastructure, structural safety concerns. These are things that are not important, but they are from prelims perspective, not also from prelims perspective. But let's read it now. These There are some important things that can come from here. It has come earlier also, like where has Satyamev Jayate taken from? Okay, all these things come. So question can come: what inspires the theme of Lok Sabha? So it's national bird peacock. Okay, what inspires the theme of Rajya Sabha? So it's national flower lotus. Okay, all these things. What is Sangol? Okay, all these things can come. Hand woven carpet from Badohi have been used in carpeting the floors. So where is Badohi? Why it's known as the carpet city? Okay, but question can come, carpet Badohi known as the carpet city. Okay, things can come like this. Uh, who has designed the triangular design? So it's Bimal Patel, inspired by India's culture diversity. These type of questions can come. Nothing more is important, so we will skip it. Law on sedition, this makes a very important question for mains as well as for prelims. So why news recently? Because law commission 22nd has recommended law commission has recommended retaining the sedition law. It's section 124 of IPC. Okay, 1870. And the definition is, you can see, whoever by word, either spoken or written, or by signs or by visible representation, or otherwise brings or attempts to bring into hatred or contempt, or excites or attempts to excite disaffection towards the government established by law. So what we will do is we will go in GS2 sedition law. Okay, and we will just briefly define this. Okay, not the exact words, but the important words: hatred or contempt, excites or attempts to excite disaffection towards the government established by law. So this is important words, and you will make it part of the note. Now what are the sedition law is under heavy criticism. So what are the criticisms? We will be making notes very crisply. Okay, it's in Shreya Singhal case to the Supreme Court says that the definition of sedition is very subjective and vague. So anything can become sedition. Okay, so it is one criticism. So we'll have this thing. Point one: chilling effect on dissent. Okay, so it discourages dissent by individuals, even if it's very legitimate criticism. So this we will make bring it in our notes. Another is low conviction rate. Okay, and also this can be used by for can be misused to promote to discourage dissent. And these are some of the important cases related to section 124A sedition. Important ones are this one, Kedarnath case. Okay, this time Supreme Court tried to make that vague definition a little proper by making it like likely to incite public disorder. Okay, not anything but public disorder. And this one is a recent kid Vinod Dua case. The Supreme Court held that has citizen has right to criticize and comment upon measures undertaken by the government functionaries, so long as it does not incite people to violence. So violence becomes the main thing. Violence against the government becomes the main thing. So these are the things. Okay, uh, this existence of other laws. another criticism is that there are other laws, that can be used to, discourage dissent. You don't need such a law like 124A, which is very, harsh. So this is and another is that it has been sedition was is in IPC 1870, was given by United Kingdom, but these countries itself have repealed it. So it makes sense that we also repeal it. Now there are arguments for also, okay, arguments for to safeguard the unity and integrity of the country, India. Sedition is a reasonable restriction. Okay, we the rights we enjoy are qualified and not absolute, and sedition is a reasonable restriction. Then there is this is a counter terror legislation does not fill the space of 124A, so 124A is important. And this one is not important law to be judged independently and not from the present colonial legacy. And realities differ in every jurisdiction, so we should not be like, if UK has repealed it, Australia has repealed it, so we should also repeal it. Every country has its own situations and circumstances. uh, yeah, it may not be compatible with Indian circumstances. Misuse cannot be, ground for removal. There are several laws which are misused. The gray areas in the laws are misused, but that doesn't mean we should repeal it. Way forward, yes, incorporation of Kirana judgment. It's an important judgment. Uh, Law Commission proposal with a tendency to incite violence, and even Law Commission has recommended we should make it more clear. Okay, definition. This current scenario is that there is 3 years imprisonment or life imprisonment. It's very harsh. You know, now the Law Commission proposal is to enhance the jail term up to 7 years or life imprisonment. Now, there was no procedural safeguards. Law Commission has provided that there should be procedural safeguards. For example, no FIR shall be registered for sedition unless a police officer not beyond the rank of inspector conducts a preliminary inquiry and grants permission for registering a FIR. Then there are some other suggestions also, like limited application. Okay, only in cases where the intention behind any act is to disrupt public order and to overthrow the government with violence and illegal means. Okay, then training and awareness. Police office should not go on applying section 124A to each and all the cases where individuals are criticizing government. So they should be sensitized, okay, on the use of section 124A. So question can come like this, कि, what is sedition, okay, and what is sedition, and do you think sedition is right for our country, so you will have to take all the sides if you are asked to discuss. So first you will define sedition, here it is. Now then you will go why you need arguments for retaining section 124 as sedition. Then what are the criticisms, okay, and what are the way forward. So the magazine itself has made it in that format, uh, so that you can answer it. Now second is now next is to next article, grievance redressal assessment and index. See, GRI. If one thing you should do is remember the syllabus properly. If you remember the syllabus and if you see the PYQs, you will have a great idea about where the question, what section, which article is related to which section. For example, this section, grievance redressal assessment and index, is related to governance part, related to citizens charter, governance, public service delivery, all those uh, part of the syllabus. So let's start. We can directly put this article in that part. A lot, for most article not much thing comes from mains, but still a few things, important things I will underline, and you can put it in your mains notes. See, this is a very good diagram, okay, that you can always put. This one, this is a very good diagram that you can always put. Wait a sec. This one in your notes. Okay, how redressal, government redressal mechanism, grievance redressal mechanisms, you know, what it is and how it helps in better governance. So, yes, a question come like who developed this index? So, any ministry can be given. Ministry of Personnel can be given. Ministry of another Ministry of Home Ministry can be given. PMO can be given. So always remember who conceptualized GRAI. So it was done by DARPG, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances under Ministry of Personal Public Service Grievances and Pensions. Okay, what the report is, it's a 10 step centralized grievance redressal management system, CP grams reforms that were adopted by DARPG to improve the quality of disposal of grievances by reducing the time it takes. What is the objective of the index? To present organization wise comparative picture, and provide valuable insights about what areas to work on, what are the areas we are lacking in. Okay, how many indicators are there? 12 indicators based on key dimensions. What are the key dimensions? Efficiency, feedback, domain, organizational commitment. You don't need to remember all these things, just remember important things like grievance redressal mechanism, why it is important, it's given in this diagram, and which ministry has developed it, which departments have developed it. Okay. What are the mechanisms for grievance redressal that we have in our country? So we have CP gram, then we have Lokpal and state Lokayukt, CVC and other statutory body. Okay, even each organization has its own, like Reserve Bank of India has its ombudsman to look into grievances. Even each state has developed their own grievance redressal platforms. Now, what is important for mains is here. So what you will do is you will add these things in your mains notes. So what is the importance of grievance redressal mechanisms? Second, ARC has said that it is usually employed to make administration citizen centric. So if you have a grievance with a service you are getting, so if you provide the tell the government your grievances and government acts on it, then there will be improvement in the the service delivery, the service you are getting. Okay, and then it becomes, this administration becomes citizen centric. It starts looking at your you know uh, needs. Okay, see. Yes, this is something. The basic principle of grievance redressal mechanism is that if promised level of service delivery is not achieved, or if a right of a citizen is not honored, then citizen should be able to take recourse to mechanisms to have grievance redressal. Okay, these are the things. Okay, uh, now issues with our existing grievance redressal mechanisms. One is first most important thing, and this is something you can put everywhere, is low level of awareness of the rights and duties of citizens. Okay, uh, uh, we as you know, we have our education level is not that high, and there are so many people who are not informed because of several reasons about their rights and duties. Okay, this is one thing that you can add in every government scheme mechanism, that uh, the the beneficiary, the citizens don't have information about Ujjwala scheme, so they are not able to assess it. Okay, what are their entitlements under Ujjwala scheme, so they don't know it, so they are not able to access that scheme. This is something you can put in every scheme. Now there is judiciary is overburdened. There are over 4 crore cases with the judiciary, pending cases with the judiciary. Now another is very important, this also you can put it anywhere in scheme. There are so many ministries and organizations, and they don't work in tandem, in rhythm. They don't work they work in silos, they don't work together. So there can be a grievance that has to be handled by more than one ministry. But if there is not rhythm between these ministries, that grievance is not redressed properly. Also GRMs, redressal mechanisms do not have any uh, mandatory backing like RTI has. Okay, now there is lack of resources. There are not functionaries, there are not funds, staffs are less, resources are less, to address grievances. uh, these are the problems, systemic problems, slackness in administration, bureaucratic apathy. Okay, all these things are there. Inertia is there, adopting new technology, all those things. Inertia with respect to adopting new technology is there, all these things are there. Measures needed to strengthen GRM. Okay, identification of grievance prone areas. There are some areas where there is always grievances, so we should act on those areas first. Create awareness among citizens, through advertisements, medias, all those things. Attitudinal change in civil servants. Okay, this is also something you can put everywhere in most of the schemes. Wherever there is a change agent, there you can put this thing, civil servants. Now, recommendations of second ASC give statutory backing to grievance redressal mechanisms like we have given to RTI, and all grievance petitions should be satisfactorily disposed of within 30 days. So they are making it time bound, and if it is not done in time limit, there should be financial penalties on the staff. Okay, all these things. Suggestions for parliamentary standing committee of personal public grievances, law and justice. CP Gram should play a role of facilitator without impinging on nature of federalism, and there should be regular review of grievances raised in print and electronic media. Now let us see some other citizen-centric administration that we have undertaken. Uh, uh, See, as per second ARC report, the concept of good governance and citizen are intimately interconnected. If there is good governance, there will be citizen-centric. If there is good governance, there will be citizen-centric, administration. So there are, adopting modern technology, RTI, citizen charter, all these things are there. Citizen charter is in GS2. We will be as the course starts, we'll be covering citizen charter is soon. So all these things will be covered. Yeah, recommendations of second ARC to ensure citizen-centric administration. Make see this topics is there in GS2 in governance part, citizen charter. So one thing is these are the points that you can add in your notes. Citizen charter's effectiveness. One size does not fit all. Wide consultation, which includes civil society. Redressal mechanism in case of default. Periodic evaluation of citizen charter. They should be updated, periodically. You know, and hold officers accountable for results. Here we have read that we can, dispose of in 30 days, and if not in time limit, we should have financial penalties for the officers. Okay, now consumer protection is there. Local adults would be effective in setting up many consumer disputes. Okay, these things are there. Yes, another topic is OTT regulation in India. See, Digital Publisher Content Grievance Council has recommended punitive action on OTT platform involving. This is not important from mains perspective because it is not directly related to any topic in mains. But yes, for prelims it can be important. Like, if is Digital Publisher Content Grievances Council statutory body or not, something like that. Okay, under which law it was established, all those things, which act it was established, all these things can come. So what is OTT? It's over the platform services that offer viewers access to movies, TV shows, other media directly over internet, bypassing cable and satellite systems. And these are the date facts you don't need to remember. Okay, let's get to important things. These are all everything related to OTT, not required, not yeah. Let's questions can come from here. Digital Publisher Content Grievances Council. So it is registered by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Okay, set up under the aegis of Internet and Mobile Association of India. So surely it's not a statutory body. Okay, it's a regulatory body. It's a independent, officially recognized independent self-regulatory body for online curated content providers. Okay, it aims to redressal. It aims to create a redressal mechanism which ensures a balance between addressing viewer complaint fairly and showing content without ad hoc interventions. And it adheres to IT rules 2021. Nothing much important is there. Current mechanism for OTT regulation in India. What are the laws? IT Act 2000 is there. IPC 1861 is there. Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act is there. Okay, then government has come up with information technology intermediary guidelines, and digital media ethics code rules 2021 under 87.2 of information technology act. So these are the provisions that regulate OTT in India. There is code of ethics for online news, OTT platforms and digital media. So it's a code of ethics. Now there is self classification of content of OTP under these categories. Okay, there is parental logs. you know, parental lock. Platforms would be required to implement parental locks for a content classified as UA 13 plus or higher, and reliable age verification mechanism for content classified as A, so adult content. Okay, co-regulation approach. India's approach to OTT regulation can be termed as light touch co-regulation model, where there is self-regulation at industry level and final oversight mechanism at the ministry level. This is a very good approach, actually. You regulate yourself. There is not over-regulation, but if there is breach of, if you are breaching the, guidelines, then there is oversight mechanism at the ministry level. Okay, and there is this three level grievance redressal mechanism. Okay, read about it, not important. Just see this diagram, not important. Okay. These are some of the, challenges associated with OTT regulation. People have said that freedom of expression will be curtailed, creative freedom will be curtailed. Okay, low compliance is there. Privacy and data protection, is an issue. Jurisdictional effect. Some content can be, from foreign country, from foreign broadcasters and foreign OTT platforms. So how will be, regulating them, and it is difficult to monitor and ensure compliance. All these things are there. Now, way ahead, need for national broadcasting policies there, recognizing distinction between online content from conventional content, awareness about provisions, audio industry should be mandated to run periodic campaigns in print and remember about the grievance redressal mechanism that is there. So all these things are not very important from its point of view. You can remember few of the things like Digital Publisher Content Grievance Council is under Ministry of IB, and it's not a statutory body. It's an independent regulatory body. All those things not very important. Yes, affirmative action. News, US Supreme Court limited affirmative action in college admissions. So, you know what is affirmative action? We have read what is affirmative action. We also have in India. It's a positive action discrimination which was introduced in USA to counter historical patterns of prejudice against individuals with certain, ethnic identities. It refers to admission practice that seeks to increase the representation of Black, Hispanic, and, my other minority students in college and universities of USA. What you do is, what is Black population. You should go and search what is Hispanic population. Okay, where do they come from? Hispanic. Reservation is a type of affirmative action that we have in India for historically disadvantaged groups. Uh, there is representation, education, employment, government schemes, scholarships, and politics also. If you know, there are some seats, constituencies that are reserved for SCs and STs. So some differences can be asked, not important. What are the affirmative actions in India and USA? Uplift lower strata purpose. You can read the purpose. Okay, how it was introduced? It was introduced through the fundamental rights. It is in USA. It is embedded in Civil Rights Act of 1964. In India, we have 50% ceiling on reservations, and in USA it varies across the states. Now, governors, if you have been reading news, there have been tussle between governor and elected governments in several states. So governor becomes important both for prelims and mains. So, Nadu government rejected government's request to shift portfolios of ministers. So that is why it was in news. These are the articles related to governor. Article 164 one state that CM shall be appointed by governor and the ministers shall be appointed by the governors. Now see, there is an, article on governors. What we'll do is we'll just go and we'll make a task to do after we have done reading today's uh, magazine, this polity part. First task is we'll go and read governor section from Lakshmikant. Everything about governor from Lakshmikant. It will take you 15 to 20 minutes hardly if you have, 15 minutes hardly if you have read it earlier. Now, uh, the states complain that actions of government amount to interference in, you know, the administration and is against the concept of federalism. This is the thing. Okay, governor is the chief executive head of the state. We know that, and he has executive functions, judicial functions, and legislative functions. This is the thing that we will be reading from Lakshmikant. It is not given here properly. In very briefly, it has been given here. So go and read it from Lakshmikant. Various other cases of misuse of governor's office. Governors are alleged to be partisan. partisan functioning, lack of coordination between elected and government and appointed government, mistrust, due to frequent recommendations of bills to the president. Go read Article 200. It's a very important article, and what are the conditions under which government can recommend bills to the president. Okay, delaying assent to the resolution passed by state assembly, rejecting the recommendation of names to various posts of the state. These are some of the communities on center-state relationships that have given various recommendations for a good center state relationship. Like Punchi commission has recommended that government should be appointed uh, with in consultation with state chief minister for better coordination. All those things are there. So this you go and read from Lakshmikant itself. By doing current affairs also you will be finishing off static part. You might feel like we are putting 2 hours every day in current affairs, but if you see it in a long run, long stretch, you will see that you're not only covering current affairs, you're covering your main thing too. You're updating your notes also. You're updating your notes also and revising your static also. Now there is another article, general consent to CBI. Tamil Nadu withdrew general consent according to CBI to probe cases in state. Said CBI comes like every 2 to 3 years. It comes in mains and prelims. Okay, so you should remember the act under which CBI has been created. It's the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946. This has come in prelims, and the investigation agency has to obtain consent of state governments before it can investigate a crime in particular state. The consent of the state government is either general or case specific. General consent is normally, you can conduct uh, investigation as and when you want. Okay, you don't need consent again and again for each of the corruption cases you investigate. In specific consent, CBI would have to apply to the state government in every case. So this is the difference between general and specific consent. Now, if specific consent is not granted, CBI officials will not have the power of police personnel when they enter the state. So this is the difference between general and specific consent. Withdrawal is not applicable to cases in which investigation is already in progress. Okay, so state government cannot withdraw the consent if the investigation is ongoing. So there is another exception to general consent. Supreme Court and High Courts can order CBI to investigate a crime anywhere in the country without consent of the state, and consent does not apply to case where somebody has been caught red-handed taking a bribe. So these are the two. So question can come, MCQ can come like this: कि Supreme Court and High Court can order CBI to investigate, and then the state doesn't have to, cannot give consent. It has to give consent. I mean, appointment of Director General of Police. Passed Punjab Assembly passed Punjab Police Amendment Bill. Not important, not at all important from prelims perspective. Not also important from mains perspective. But let's see something. There is a procedure of DGP's appointment. It was given by Supreme Court judgment in Prakash Singh versus Union of India 2006. As per the judgment, DGP is to be selected by the state government from among the three senior most officers impaneled for promotion of that. Okay. Also, it has recommended setting up establishment board in state to oversee transfer and posting. This is important, very important guideline from Supreme Court. State sends the names of eligible officers to UPSC, which appoint a three-member panel representing UPSC central and state government to pick the candidate for the post. Okay. So in 2018, Supreme Court order stated that any conflicting rule resolution counter to the direction for the appointment of post by state or central government shall remain abeyance. So now this is under the Prakash Singh judgment, Supreme Court judgment in Prakash Singh versus Union of India. This is how DGP's appointment takes place. Justice clocks, not important, but you can read. It is an electronic signature system which have been installed across the court complex of high courts. Okay, inform stakeholders about court related key parameters and bring awareness among the public by providing bird eye view of court related data. This is Nyaya Vikas portal. Uh, becomes important. It's a centrally sponsored scheme. You know what's the difference between centrally sponsored scheme? Centrally sponsored scheme are implemented by state functionaries, state administration, and machinery, and is funded both by central and state government in some proportion, 90 10 70 30 50 50. The Vikas portal by Ministry of Law and Justice for monitoring the implementation of centrally sponsored scheme. What is there? So you can read about Nyaya Vikas. It's Department of Justice. To improve the development of infrastructure facilities in district and subordinate judiciary. For construction of court halls, residential units for judicial officers, etc. You can see the funding pattern: 90-10 for Himalayan states and North Indian states. Union territories is 100% and remaining states 60-40. Panchayat Development Index, Union Ministry of Panchayati Raj, not important, but it grades the panchayats on the basis of the progress they make. So this is it. See, the video has become large, so we will be doing polity only today. Now what we do is, now that we have finished polity, we'll go and revise polity now itself. Okay, as it is fresh in our memory, it will help us remember. So what we'll do, new parliament, important things, as we have already underlined, 1971 by Edwin Lutyens and Herbert Spencer. You know, influence from Chaussat Yogini Temple in Morena, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, these are the things why we need a new parliament. एक भारत शेष लोकसभा, नेशनल बर्ड पीकॉक, राज्यसभा लोटस. Okay, symbolic Sengal is placed next to speaker's chair. Bhadoi is carpet city of India. Satyamev Jayate, tell me where Satyamev Jayate is taken from which Upanishad? Who designed this? Bimal Patel, Padma Shri architect, all those things. Law of sedition, Kirana judgment, likely to incite public disorder would qualify as sedition. Vinod Dua case, violence, people to violence. What are the criticisms? Subjective definition, as told by in the Supreme Court in Shreya single case. Chilling effect on dissent, low conviction rate, 3 to 33%. These are the things you can data and facts that you can quote in your mains answer. So you can prepare one separate data file for your mains. Allegations of misuse. All these things are argument for. Okay, the argument forms are for 124A, combating anti-national and secessionist elements. It's a reasonable restriction. Okay, to counter, to fill the space in counter terror legislations. Okay, all these things. These things become important from this. Make notes of it if you want. Now, this grievance redressal assessment index, important things: Ministry of State and Public Grievances. Okay, what it is: 12 indicators spread up across 4 key dimensions. What are the dimensions? These are the dimensions. So this is how you will be doing revising polity, and this is the second step. Third step is, when you have finished the whole this 132 pages of June magazine, you will revise the whole magazine. Okay, I will be cutting several other things, like these things are not important. Justice clock is not important, so these things we can be removed. It will save our time. So I'll be finishing off today's video because the video has become too long and people don't watch long videos. Next time we will be doing together on Google Meet. We'll try to set uh, bring the setup where we can have we each of us can do it together for like 1 hour, or two to three sections we will try to cover from the magazine. So this is it for today. uh, Thank you.